I think once again, too, I mean, I know we're going to talk about the Ravens and all of that. Detroit here, early October, like I was starting the show with, we're seeing teams like Detroit, who we thought would be a Super Bowl caliber team, kind of come into form here right at the right time and go, wow, there's nothing they can't do. I mean, their offensive line, the way they started running the football yesterday and just kicking butt that way, when they do that, they're just really tough to stop. And then we know their defense makes plays and is opportunistic as well. But Jared Goff and the cast of characters he has at receiver,
there's no pressure.
Damn good.
He's wide open.
Right? Look
he
at
does
it.
that little fake
That's
handoff.
Right. Say it all.
He's got 8 seconds.
Yeah,
and then he throws it to a guy that's got no one around him.
Screen. Exactly.
There's no one around him.
Yes.
He's got enough time to wait for somebody to spring wide ass open, as Bruce Arians likes to say.
Horrible matchup, right? This is why I picked Detroit as one of my best bets, because I just looked at it and I went, man, this is one of those this week where Dallas is going to go, oh no, even when we play run defense, we're still not going to be able to stop their run. And when that happens and it's Jared Goff and Ben Johnson, like I've said a few times here, that's when it's just an avalanche of points and yards. 500 yards of total offense, and they took the foot off the gas pedal in the fourth quarter.
I have a question for you that comes from a recently former NFL head coach, not the one that was fired last week, not that recent.
Okay.
Is Ben Johnson getting the credit he deserves? He's been the best offensive mind in football for the last 3 years. Everyone else is a distant second, and I mean distant.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I don't – when he says distant, like –
distant.
Well, like I'm going to say like, no, Kyle Shanahan and Kevin O'Connell are not a distant to Ben Johnson. I wouldn't say a distant.
Did your tattoo start throbbing? Is that why you said that?
How dare you say that about my friend? No, but I mean, you know I've said this a million times. Certainly one of the top 3 or top 5 play callers, game plan designers in the sport. I mean, certainly the guy that's the offensive coordinator in football that you look at right now and go, he's going to be a head coach. I mean, he should have been last year. I mean,
well,
he could have been, and he wasn't ready.
Right, but he wanted to wait. And I remember after he pulled his name out of consideration for the Commanders, the Seahawks, I think, were in it also.
Yeah.
Somebody leaked this idea that he wanted too much money. And I just thought that was a bullcrap report, and I thought it was a bullcrap
sounds like it was
leak.
from everything I know.
Let's make him look bad.
Right.
Hey, maybe it's just because you all are too freaking cheap, and you don't pay talent what talent's worth, and you want to hold him down. I mean, none of us have access to the historical player pay, historical coach pay year after year after year. My guess is the player pay has gone like this and the coach pay has gone like that.
Yeah,
and
sure.
they've held it down. There's really collusion,
right.
I believe. Please don't sue me, owners. I believe there's collusion. They have the collusion meetings 4 times a year. They got them coming up again this week. That's what the union calls them, where they get together. The 32 independent businesses, they're allowed to collude on some things, not on others, and they can't collude on coaches' pay. So don't give me this crap that Ben Johnson wanted too much. Maybe he deserves it. And maybe one of these teams out there that hired somebody is saying, maybe we should have paid Ben Johnson what he wanted, and somebody's going to pay him after this year. Hell, maybe it would be Jerry Jones, although Jerry Jones is one of the ones, I think, who wants to hold down coaching pay.
Yeah, I hear you there. But he's going to be one of the most sought-after names in football next year as a head coach. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And whoever that was that texted you, I don't disagree. I mean, he's as far as the distant part, I disagree.
It's easy to have the players, though. It's like Dick Vermeil said, I became a lot better coach once I got Marshall Faulk.
He did get the players, but still the way he calls the game, as you always hear me use the phrase, ties plays together, does all that, the evolution of Jared Goff, where Jared Goff now, when he comes on a football field, I actually go, ooh, watch out, Jared Goff's coming on the field. He's going to look to throw some explosive plays here. Where, like, 4 years ago, I'd have been like, oh, freaking Jared Goff's coming on the field. What's he going to do, fumble or throw a screen? You know, what's really going to happen? He's going to miss a wide-open receiver downfield? So that's part of Ben Johnson's genius as well, is that this guy here is now a real threat. When he comes on the field in a game like yesterday, you're going, man, I don't know if they can stop Jared Goff right now. He's going to stand in there and throw lasers down the football field. And you talked about it. When you have time like that to throw the football, the weapons they have, Dallas being compromised the way they are, Detroit is certainly one of the best teams in football like we thought. They got the mojo. The bad thing is that they lost their best defensive player yesterday, and that
Before we get
stinks.
there, a thought on Goff.
Right.
I think this is a testament to Dan Campbell, the head coach,
too.
because
right.
I think he knows exactly how to press everyone's buttons to get the most out of them.
Yep.
And it's not going to be something he does out in the open. It's going to be stuff that happens in meeting rooms. It's going to be little snide comments on the practice field.
Yep.
And you have to approach every guy differently because some people are motivated more by positive. Some people are motivated by a little.
I feel like with Goff, they had to take
tweak.
the positive thing probably a little bit.
Right, but they found a way
Yeah.
to get him to become the guy that the Rams thought he would never be.
Right.
Now, he's still not there without a Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
He's still not all the way there,
Right.
but they've found a way to coax him toward that, where he's playing better than I think the Rams ever thought he would, better than
Definitely.
we ever
I
thought
know
he
that.
would. And, they pay him that big contract. Look at all the guys that get big contracts at quarterback. It's like the Jaguars quarterback.
Sure.
Should they really have done that? But I think Campbell found a way to use that as a way to challenge him to be even better, and they said that, and it's working.
Yeah, working, perfect storm. Campbell's the ultimate leader of men. Ben Johnson seems like the guy that is not like overreacting if you throw an incompletion or yelling at you, so that helps out. And let alone he's smart enough to formulate a plan that makes sense for Jared Goff to continue that confidence. And then the perfect storm of the quarterback coach, a guy like Mark Brunell, he's been in the fire. He's been in the battles. He understands it, and he can be there and be not only like the quarterback coach and, hey, look at your mechanics and this is the play and read it this way, but he can be a psychologist too, and that's what great quarterbacks coaches are. They're psychologists. They teach you in the meeting rooms and in practice how to deal with certain situations, how to deal with your head coach when he's talking all crazy and all amped up or whatever that is. So it's all worked out really well there, but you're right in the fact that it all starts with Dan Campbell at the top. Phenomenal. And then, of course, on the defensive side, they got Aaron Glenn leading the charge there, and he's similar that way too. They have a really special group in Detroit that when you are on the field or around them, you feel their energy. You really do, and I know you felt it last year when we saw them playing in Kansas City or whatever. It's a strong group of men that are very passionate about their job.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.